Hello and welcome to another episode of the Plus 63 HP Podcast Reviews Edition. I'm one of your hosts, John Clemente. Alongside with me are two of my bestest best friend. I'm gonna start with the man on farthest on the other side of your screen. CHUBAX, how are you doing?
What's up? We're finally back. I'm doing good. Nice to see you guys.
Good to see you as well. And right in the middle of your screen, the main man for this particular episode, Arnie, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. I just yeah, happy to be back. As you could see.
It's been a minute, and if this is
Yeah.
your first time on the channel, thank you very much for the view. We are plus 63 HP. We have a stable of podcasts where we this show, deep dive review, give a rating about a particular TV series or a movie of the week so we can give you information whether you should watch it yourself. In this particular episode, we are continuing our episode by episode chunk discussion of the latest Disney Plus series of Star Wars, The Acolyte. We also have a D&D show, myself, a couple of the people on this call, and some more of our friends started our very first D&D campaign. We recorded it and posted it on YouTube for posterity. You can join along the adventures of that particular campaign every week as well on our channel. We also have a reacts show where we curate and react to uh, 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 upcoming content that will be coming down the pipeline. So clips, featurettes, short videos, and trailers about upcoming shows and movies, and we tell you how hyped we are for that particular piece of content. And on occasion, CHUBAX and our other best friend RJ can't get enough of D&D, and when they do have enough time, they spun off a second campaign where they are bad guys. So almost every single day of the week, you'll have a fresh piece of content waiting for your entertainment pleasure. Right now, we are still have a little bit of a backlog, so you'll see stretches of daily posts depending on what type of content we've prearranged. So there might be a full week of reacts and then a full week of reviews and then a full week of D&D. So once we have kind of caught up with our backlog, we'll be back on our week on week schedule as well. And again, you can find us on youtube.com slash plus 63 HP. We stream live on Twitch, so you can see how the sausage is made every weekend, Saturday and Sunday mornings, anywhere between 9:30 to 12 morning Eastern time, but also evening Philippine Standard Time. So if you want to see us record all of these shows, hop on twitch.tv slash plus 63 HP. We're also on the socials. Just find our handle at plus 63 HP. And if you don't want to watch us video on demand, you want to put us in the background while you're cleaning or doing your chores or working, search at plus 63 HP on your podcast app of choice. All right. Housekeeping done. Very excited about the discussion of this new series. Very divisive. I've been seeing different reviews, wildly different reviews. But in the end, the most important opinions that you should be listening to is ours because ours is the best and most sane, I think. So before we pass along the mic to Arnie for a quick beat by beat synopsis of episodes 3, 4, and 5. Trubax, non-spoilery, how are you enjoying or not enjoying the Acolyte so far?
Oh, I'm really enjoying it. It's not perfect. There's some stuff here and there that's either hurried or the writing was off, but overall, I'm having a blast.
Um, uh, Arnie, initial reaction on spoilery?
Yeah, just like what Chubak said, I'm enjoying it. Some parts not as much, but I mean it's Star Wars. It's something new that we've been clamoring for. So yeah, you enjoy what you enjoy, and then you leave behind what you don't
Mm.
like. So that's pretty much the advice there.
Um, I'm alongside you both, but slightly different. I am loving the show.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
am
we love it
truly
too. They're
enjoying it.
just
We
like
love
a
it.
beat here and there that's a little.
You're right. The only complaint that I have is I truly feel this is one of the shows should have been a binge drop because the
Mm.
arrangement of what had happened, the let's say the main plot points, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm.
has that's we've seen uh because you need to kind of like wait until the resolution until somewhat towards the end of the episode, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's a cliffhanger. It's
Mm-hmm.
rough, like it's a whole week of waiting, like what had happened, who had done it,
Mm-hmm.
etc., etc. That's one complaint. And the other complaint too is like, oh, you already know what had happened, but other characters doesn't, and you have to wait another week for people to
Mm-hmm.
see them. I think if this is like, if I rewatch this back to back, I love the action. I kind of love
Mm-hmm.
the acting. I love how
Mm-hmm.
simple, all the characters are. Like, these are the Jedi. They are stuck up. They are the cops. These
Mm-hmm.
are the witches. These are the whatever. So it's like, it's clear there's not a lot of kind of overly superfluous levels. Um, Also that, we're going to discuss it shortly, but the all the action scenes has been stellar, but
Mm-hmm.
there's now an action sequence that rivals Duel of the Fates for me
Mm-hmm.
so far. So it even that just seeing kind of like gives all the other episodes plus 1 point buff. So I've been really enjoying it. I really don't understand the
You
negative
know.
issues around it, but again, it's just the usual. I think we're going to be getting to a point where less and less actors would wanna be in the Star Wars franchise because of how toxic the minority fan base is. The majority of the fan base is great, but there's just some like vocal
I
minority that.
I actually think it's the opposite. It's like I don't know. I'm kind of feeling. Well, it's just my personal feel of Twitter, which is very very subjective. But I think it's starting to turn where Lucasfilm doesn't care too much about those vocal shit now. They're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
parang
Good.
like let's do our own stuff and then we know
Mm-hmm.
who people like it. We'll just go with what the numbers and then
Yep.
and focus
Yeah.
on those who like it. So I think
But
they're kind of doing it good. So let's
no,
see.
you're 100% correct. That's kind of like the podcast that I listened to this past week. I know it's a little bit of a tangent before we get to Arnie.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Disney stock has dropped um precipitously the
Mm-hmm.
past 4 years, ever
Mm-hmm.
since they started catering to everyone, right? Before it's like, targeting kids and their parents. Now they have teens, they have liberals, they have all of the spectrum now. So they're not
Mm-hmm.
really focusing. So in the past 4 years, they've lost $159 billion in stock value
Mm-hmm.
because regardless of whether the intent is, if there is noise, more of a negative kind of sounding noise,
Mm-hmm.
anywhere between like the Gia Carano stuff, anywhere between the Marvel stuff not
Mm-hmm.
um doing particularly well, it
Mm-hmm.
has kind of like dropped a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Shabak. I love the idea that Filoni has cherry picked all of these creators that he's
Yeah.
done, and he himself has been in it. So
Yeah.
on a story perspective, it's sound. It's just I'm looking at like you put a girl as a lead, automatically your Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes score is bad, regardless of they've seen an episode or rat. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
we're that's not if I were an actor, I wouldn't want to be the Hayden Christensen where my appreciation is only like 20-25 years after I've
Mm-hmm.
done my thing, right? So, but regardless, like personally, loving the show so far. Like
Mm-hmm.
the droid looks cute, monsters look scary, lots of lightsabers.
And
We got
let's
X-23.
we can comment on that start now. You know why the action was so good?
Right.
You remember the fan film videos I showed you about the fan made
Oh,
My Hero Academia?
yeah,
Mm.
with the
Okay.
stuntman.
That's the guy who's doing the action here. He was also
Oh.
one of the camera guys and did some of the shots, the concept shots and choreography for Shang-Chi.
Mm.
Oh. Okay.
And now he's one of the head guys here. So that's why it's all a lot of anime influences with the action and the movements and the fight scene. So
Mm-hmm.
the
Everything
nerds are
looks good.
ruined.
But also like they weren't like I mean, some of the fight scene they obfuscated with trees so that you hide a little
It's
bit
so PG
more in the
13,
shot.
but you know what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, but also like you don't have to like clearly see every single swing,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You get a little bit of imagination there. So I really yeah, we'll start with we'll pass it along to Arnie now to run us along and then we'll discuss along the way the things that we like and do not like about the show.
All right. So yeah, quick recap. So we start with episode 3, which is called Destiny, which not really started the whole kerfuffle, but basically,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Very
So
controversial episode. This is
very
the most
controversial.
controversial episode.
So the way I would put it, if you are somebody who watched Star Trek shows, this is the threshold episode. Basically, at least in my opinion, okay, it's not the best episode ever, but hey, there's some lore in there, so let's appreciate the lore of it. So yeah, episode 3 is a flashback episode. So 16 years prior to the events of episode 1 and 2 of the Acolyte. So we see the home planet of Osha and May, and we see them as children. May is excited to participate in the Ascension. It's like a graduation ceremony for their people.
This Coven of Witches.
Well,
The Night
Coven of
Sisters.
Witches. That's not related. It's not really
Not Night
related to Night
Sisters. Yeah.
Sisters.
Oh,
Yeah,
kind of.
but witches.
Somewhat like, right?
Yeah, yeah, and Osha is not really keen on being ascended, basically. And then we see a younger version of Soul and Master Indara. So apparently, it seems like the Jedi were just basically regulating who could train children with the Force. Okay, so there's all these conversations, and then the whole back and forth. There's a lot of the I'm not a twin, so I don't know how it is with twins about competition or just trying to be different from your twin. So there's a lot of that going on as well, and we find out that the moms, controversial, the moms. One is like a Zabrak, basically the same race as Darth Maul, but the female version. Uh, Carried the
Mm.
kids and birthed them, and then what's her name of the mom is the one who created the twins.
Mhm.
It wasn't clear yet how, but it alludes to what happened with Anakin Skywalker.
Mhm.
No father was basically birthed by the Force, which is
Worst by the
another
Force.
controversial
Yeah.
thing.
Which
In
is
in in,
what
in,
people
in
hated the most
yeah,
about this episode
yeah,
was
I
like
don't
in a
know. I don't know
galaxy.
why, but
Yeah, but the
okay.
I
thing
think they
is,
wanted
okay.
to just keep, as usual, like, if you, there are more kids that were made like how
Mm,
Anakin was made makes it a lot
a lot less
less
special.
special,
Hmm.
which
Mm.
is, I understand,
But didn't they
right?
allowed
But
it somewhere already, Arnie? They
Well,
already alluded it somewhere that there are other first born children. Eh.
yeah,
I forgot
yeah,
where though.
yeah, and the thing is, in a galaxy far, far away, they have, you know, trillions of people surviving.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you really think Anakin is the only fatherless child? And the thing is, uh, a lot of it is oral history, you know, and the thing is, even the one that the concept with Anakin, there was like a book that talked about how he was created by Darth Sidious, but it's not even canon. Basically, it's just discussed in one of those Darth Plagueis books and all that stuff. But I digress. Basically, I'm pretty sure if the creation of this twins is like a male force user. Just saying, just saying. Anyways, so there's a
But
lot
I
of back
well
and
well
forth.
before we start, I think yeah, the compounded complaint around one, yeah, the Messiah origination, like we
Hmm.
already had Anakin, we're gonna have now there's more. That's one. And then
Hmm.
compounded, like it's not only the complaint about another dyad, which is not a particularly popular
Hmm.
kind of creation in the Star Wars universe. Like, these dyads make more force. That's why like Luke and Leia are twins, and they
Hmm.
keep on rehashing the dyad thing. So that's
Yeah.
another complaint. And then add the fact that they're female, add the fact they're not white. So like all of the
Yeah.
possible
Why?
bigotry can that of the very vocal minority
Yeah.
came to a
And
head into that particular episode. So I mean, I
yeah.
really wish that's why this should if this should have been if this were a binge drop, we could have like
Yeah.
alleviated that.
Yeah.
But episode 3 had
Like,
one full week of discussion on its own.
yeah. And the thing is, oh, surprise, surprise, Pride Month. They released something, and the thing is, it's very, very oversimplification. We're just assuming that they're lesbian bitches. They could just don't want to be dealing with men. I don't know. I mean, have you met the fan base? But yeah,
And
it's just
vocal
like
minority.
the vocal
Most
minority.
people enjoyed it, but
Yeah,
the
but
annoying things
yeah,
that you see on Twitter or on
but yeah, but anyway, let's annoy them much more. So yeah, so they're witches, and they had this ceremony where there's this chanting of the power of one, the power of two, the power of
our men.
many. Not my favorite, but whatever. It is what it is, right? So that ceremony was interrupted by the Jedi, basically being like a one of the podcasts I heard is more like a child protective services, like, hey, you're
Which
you're
is
indoctrinating.
fucking hypocrisy at its finest.
Exactly,
If you
exactly.
check about
Oh,
it, which is I'm loving this. I'm loving this Jedi where they're not the. I think the Jedi is perfect for me because when you're young, they're the idols, they're the heroes.
Yeah,
So
mm,
when you
yeah.
grow up, you realize that
Like,
shit, they're like not all of them are good, and a lot of their
it's
shit
yeah.
is off. Like
I mean, we could have thought about this side because, like, in the end, like, even in the prequel trilogy,
Mm,
like, we see them training kids. We
mm-hmm.
never ask how the kids got there,
Child
yeah,
soldiers, yeah.
right? And then, yeah, slowly we realize, like, oh, child soldiers, indoctrination, yada yada yada. But now, even like I always thought that this was like parents would volunteer and be so
Mm-hmm.
proud, like like Shmi, like right.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
so proud that Anakin could go and have live a better life with the Jedi. But if you just follow through that thought, it's like, yeah, what's stopping them from it's like, yo, you got the Force, you can't train anywhere else but us.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's
What
really
Yeah,
else?
that's why the funniest line was Saul saying, "The Jedi do not take children." Like, you do actually, you do.
actually, yeah.
Well, actually, but then again, as Obi-Wan said, from a certain point of view, right?
Mm.
So anyway, so there's had the whole discussion there. The witches tried to hide the children, and we do notice, and it was pointed out a lot of times that they are the only children in that coven. So it does seem like it is a very matriarchal, basically all female society. So, biologically, yeah, and the fact that there's actually children in there. So they haven't really discussed how they were able to create it. But again, we'll wait for, there's 4 more episodes. We'll wait.
That's again my biggest complaint is they keep on putting these giant issues
Hmm.
early. They still haven't answered. Like we still don't
Yeah.
know what the
Yeah.
coven of witches. We still don't know
Yeah.
how they're made. We still don't know what
Yeah.
happened with them.
Yeah.
We still don't know why those Jedi's were stationed there in the first place.
Yeah.
So
So there's like I even saw like a podcast or maybe it was a meme. So basically, so Master Coral and the mom Anisea, basically they're the ancestors of Shmi Skywalker. Basically, that's a theory, and then because of that, they were compared to the Bene Gesserit. like oh yeah, we have our chosen one coming. So they're just breeding all these children in a long line into Bene Gesserit. Just like what we've discussed Dune, so you guys know what we're talking about. But yeah, so I will wait until the end of the show before I make my final decision about that. But yeah, so basically, episode 3 it ends with the schism of the twins. Basically, Osha wants to leave and May wants to stay. The fire was started, which suspicious because somebody that young and not as trained in the force.
seemingly done by
Mm-hmm.
May,
Mm-hmm.
seemingly, but again, 3 episodes later, we still don't know.
And
Yeah,
it's
but it
suspicious because why was the Jedi there? Why was Saul there?
yeah. So it was there immediately, and then the bodies were just like, okay,
And the bodies were not
Why
burned.
did
yeah.
all of the witches were incapacitated, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's very sus, at the very least, right? All right, episode 4 titled Day, and spoiler alert, episode 5 is named Night.
Night.
So again, going back to the whole, it should have been a binged experience.
I'm fine. I mean,
Uh,
we've been trained since birth to watch week by week.
yeah, yeah, it's just more like, well, okay, let's talk about episode 4. So now we're back to the present timeline, at least in this show. So we see May and Kymir looking for the Wookiee Jedi, Master Kelnaka and Kofar. And if there's not any more obvious signs on who the master is, I don't know. Yeah, like Kymir just really is working his. I compared it to in Naruto. Remember the Akatsuki? There's the comic relief
Mm,
Akatsuki guy who turns out to be the badass. Spoiler alert. I think it's yeah. Well, it turned out he was an Uchiha, right? I think his name is the, the
Obito.
yeah, Obito. Yeah, Master Obito. Yeah. So that's basically what I saw with Kymir. So anyways, they were just trekking down there, and then the Jedi decides to follow them, or at least because they got worried because Kelnaka was not responding to their hails and their distress signals. So they're, you know, trying to catch up to May, basically. And oh, another controversial part that people are harassing people for, we find a Jedi, Master Ki Arimundi. He was in the prequels. If for those who don't know, he's the conehead guy who was in the Order 66. He was the one
Mhm,
that was shot by a squad by his own squad, right?
mhm.
To be quite honest, that's the only Jedi I didn't really care about when Order 66 happened. I had more emotions with Master Plo Koon than him. But
Because he seemed
anyways,
to be the what is the
what?
term? Like
What?
the sneezely, like government official type.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You're like,
protect
oh,
the Jedi. Yeah, I mean,
it's impossible. There's no Sith in the past
This line
1,000
is what's
years.
pissing me off on Twitter. Like, so many
Yeah,
people are clinging to life on this line and how what's happening is canon breaking. Are you serious? It's one line from one guy. Don't you haven't you heard of the government? How who denied
yeah.
even just last month what
I
happened?
mean,
Oh,
the other argument there, too, it's like, who are you to say what is canon breaking or fucking Dave Filoni is part of this.
exactly.
He's the canon. So
Eh,
I don't like let him cook.
And
Right?
the thing is, yeah, I mean, I've heard, the government has denied the existence of
And
certain things. And oh, by
also,
the way,
the season is not even over yet, so maybe they'll fix
Yeah.
it.
exactly.
Or even
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
they don't, it just goes back to the typical don't look up. Remember? Like no
yeah.
it's coming, don't look up. We're just in denial.
We're just
Like, oh there's no
deny.
Sith because he doesn't want to see the Sith.
And the thing is like, oh, but in Wikipedia they changed to the birth date of the guy, so now it's not. It's like, okay.
Wikipedia. Are you kidding me?
So again, they are arguing over a fictional character that, hey, George Lucas could have said, oh, that species could live 1,000,000 years, but they're quite forgetful. There you go. Canon not broken. but,
And one
but
of the things that also pisses me off is where people are just on Twitter, it's just on my over my feed where they're trying to find reasons to hate on it and they're just ignoring the most obvious, like this one. Oh, nine Jedi's they didn't notice that there was a Sith master behind them. Okay, did you see episode 1? Okay, Palpatine was in the middle of the Jedi Council and nobody
They were
fucking
talking face to
what the
face.
fuck?
Well, so there are screenwriting issues as well
Mhm,
because okay, I'm gonna skip real quick to
mhm,
episode 5 where the Sith, we haven't revealed who that Sith is yet, mentions like,
mhm,
do you not remember me to Soul, right?
mhm.
Right.
About
So it's
yeah,
like
but we don't know also if he's referring to him, his fake persona
his
or
persona, but
before.
regardless of what, that's the issue. Why
Mhm.
the main issue of this is of the series is you keep on dropping these giant hints and paying it off further and further back into
That's
the
normal
series.
naman. So I
Mm.
mean, like
Yeah.
Severance,
Well,
we
I
don't
don't know.
even
It's
know
like it.
shit.
No,
Silo,
but
we don't know anything until the. He said even
true. We won't
cliffhanger.
know anything until the end. But you literally 5 episodes. We haven't answered all anything, and then
Yeah.
you drop this other one, and then you compound the confusion of like, yeah, is it the Sith? Is it the persona? Is it the fighting
Mhm.
style? Is it the
Well, we shall
feeling, the
see.
force
Mhm.
feeling? So
Yeah.
but either way too, it's like come on. I mean, they don't the reason why that particular Sith has been so potent, I guess, is because it's secret. Nobody even knows it's
That's
fucking
their,
real.
and that's why they're good in the Force, clouding,
Mhm.
hiding. Ugh. And then
Mhm.
another one. I
The
just sorry to go on a tangent. This Twitter's been pissing me off. Like, oh, how can Jackie stand toe to toe with a Sith master? Fucking Anakin went against Dooku. Obi-Wan went against. What
I,
the
I
are you
mean, you
talking about?
also it's Daphne
Qui-Gon
King,
lost to a
23.
Padawan Sith, like
say here's the
apprentice
thing.
Sith.
They complained about her standing toe to toe with Smilo Ren, but if she sucked, they were like, "Oh, does she
Yeah,
suck?"
yeah. In the end, like,
So
It's
there,
just
why
I
did
it's
you
just
mean,
cast
looking
Daphne King then? It's like,
you
dude,
don't
like
no.
you don't
why do you
cast X23
fight?
to make her look like yeah,
It's
yeah.
just why are you so angry? Just don't watch. No,
No.
like
So no,
I think
it's
they're
because
that's trolls for sure.
the outrage machine is very profitable,
Hmm.
and that's why
it's just,
all these uh so-called gatekeepers are Star Wars experts, even though they hate the content, they keep watching because they get money out
No,
of it.
they watch to hate.
Yeah,
I'm sure they in back of their head they know how dumb their takes are, but that's what makes other people come and
yeah,
click.
I
So
hate it.
it
yeah.
It's just
is it. I think JJ Redick said it the best. This it's no longer it. Maybe a few years ago it's called content generation.
Hmm.
No longer content generation. It's engagement farming. right?
Yep.
You right, you do whatever it takes. Either have an awesome take
Yep.
and educate your people. That's a good
Man,
engagement, but
that's
also
of
just say something dumb.
the Coach Tredick is dropping knowledge already.
Yeah.
Oh, I even have opinions about that, but let's stick with Star Wars first. So anyway, so yeah, episode 4, we find out that Kalnaka was already killed by some unknown assailant,
Yeah, time out
and
again.
mhm,
Another yet another issue where
mhm,
I'm so excited to see a fucking Wookiee fight in the lightsaber. I know we will
yeah,
in the next episode, but this
Mm.
was just like, God damn it, another one. But
because at
uh
least with Carrie and Moss, we saw Trinity fight like a
fight.
Jedi before getting killed off. This one, yeah, the Wookiee force pulled a gun, broke it in half. That's it.
But again, we'll
But
see
we'll
it.
see. We'll see.
We'll see
I'm
it. But
sure there's going to be some Wookiee action there later on, because you don't hire Junas, the new Chewbacca actor, for nothing, right? Because they could have just hired Manute Bull for that, but no, there's something there. So we're
yeah,
gonna wait
I'm
for the next
sure.
few episodes.
And I think there's some they're already in the trailers where you see them in some sort of action. So we'll
Yeah,
see it. I just like I really wanted to see it right
I
away.
know, I know. And the thing is, like, so May also had this heel turn, basically, or reverse heel turn. So she's now going to, because of now she knows that Osha is alive. She'll gonna turn herself to the Jedi, turn
Yeah.
herself in to the Jedi. But of course, Kymir just said, "Well, he'll kill you." I'm like, "Oh, okay, very not sus. That
This is one
means
of the
you're
ones
not."
that at first instinct was bad writing, but I think
Yeah.
there's
Mhm.
layers here where like why would you turn that fast? But I think
Yeah,
this
yeah.
there's layers that I think she's not the one that started the fire or killed everybody.
Yeah,
So she wants to go
yeah.
back to Osha.
Look,
So
and the thing is,
I like it.
like again, I'm not a twin, but if I had a family member that I thought was dead 16 years ago and
And
find
then
out that they're
alive.
alive,
Mhm.
my whole belief system
Mm.
will be more like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
let's go back to default because we I did love that family member 16 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
So,
perfectly said by Chubax, like too fast to turn.
too
And
fast to
also
turn.
when you look at it in the entire series, it's midway of the
Yeah,
series itself.
exactly.
So
And
immediately I kind of know it's like even not watching the entire episode, it's like you're turning. Oh, this is gonna be the switcheroo thing.
mhm,
So
exactly.
the good
And the thing
becomes
is,
bad, the bad becomes good. So it's like,
and
but I'm
people,
excited to see.
yeah, and people who complain, just watch WWE. You see how many heel turns we've seen so quickly. But
And
you know,
I mean, yeah, it's predictable, and it's a knock on that. But thank God they cast Amandala because can you see how different May and Osha is? Just
mhm,
from the facial expression and the walk, it's amazing. Like she's really, really good.
She's a great
mhm,
actress. I was surprised. Everybody on the show, I'm surprised how it worked. Like even the who's the stuck up
Yord.
Jedi with the yellow sword?
the Yord Horde. Oh
Yord.
yeah,
Even him like being the stuck up dude, the
yeah.
anal retentive kind of guy, worked
Again,
for me. Soul was amazing, and the
Twitter
Mandala
again.
were good.
They were burning Yord for using the lightsaber as a light. That's fucking what you do in the game.
In the
That's
games.
Yeah, yeah, and
classic. Like,
because and also because people always default to the prequels and the Clone Wars cartoons. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin used the lightsabers as flashlights.
yeah,
It's a lightsaber,
Yeah. I mean, but
people.
even if they say that, they already know that the monsters were attracted by light, yada yada. But the monsters wasn't there. Either way, again, they're just gonna
Like,
find.
would
Uh,
you?
and I
Anyways,
also saw
whatever.
like one of the reacts. I saw was like I like his comment. Like he said, this is like the age of the Jedi, and everybody's using the Force a lot. It's not
Hmm.
mhm.
like saving it like in. We know that why they saved it in the original series because it costs money to do those effects. But now it's
Hmm.
and I'm reading the High Republic books for the first time. I'm on the first
Mm.
book, Light of the Jedi, and
Oh yeah.
one of their main Jedi's there, who's trying to become a master. Actually, he's like the eccentric type, and he
Hmm.
that's his thought process. Like, some masters they like, oh, don't use the force for frivolous things, but like, it's the force. It's not
the
like
Force.
it's not gonna run out. I'll use it for what I'll use it for. Like,
Also, it's good practice,
yeah,
right?
so it's like
Keep
good,
it
good.
fresh. Like, yeah, you're right. I
Yep.
mean,
So yeah, exactly. And the thing is, yeah, I mean, why, like, would you rather trip in the jungle just to look badass? I don't think so. You know. But anyways, episode 5 basically is a continuation of episode 4, the cliffhanger. Um, and as many suspected, all the red shirt Jedi's were killed off.
But
And
I love the ending of the 4
mhm,
where they're really making him look like a slasher killer, like a Jason
mhm,
Voorhees or Michael Myers.
mhm,
The landing from the
yep,
behind
mhm,
Osha. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, and then so the cliffhanger is basically a continuation. So we find Osha waking up in the middle of the jungle. Some unnamed Jedi were being killed off, like kebab style, basically.
I love this fight
And
scene. Like,
yeah, and then of
that was
course,
that was I was enjoying the massacre and the so
mhm,
many fights, and then
mhm,
even like I was getting annoyed at first because there's like
mhm,
there's a long break and then it still continues. So then I realized like they were fighting for a long time, and then that double kill.
mhm,
I
oh.
didn't realize like why didn't they do that more often?
mhm.
Right? It's like stab and then forceful the other one to the that
Which
was
also makes sense because he can't see you, so he doesn't know that you did the force push, so he can
Yeah,
counter it. You know, like because you were hidden
yeah,
by the body. So like,
yeah. And then I mean, and then of course people had the issue now. Oh, how come he's headbutting the lightsabers? Like, well,
they
because
just
you're
don't know what's
the
that material?
the cortosis.
cortosis. Yeah,
Orthosis. Yeah, I didn't even know about that material
Yeah,
too.
I
So
found out also
so
after
I
yeah.
researching.
thought that he was just headbutting the hilt.
It's the same thing with you. But then again, going back to medieval times, I'm pretty sure that helmet was used to headbutt a sword to deflect.
No, and I
I
loved
don't
it.
know.
Good move though. Good
And
move.
also
Yeah.
like, and again, there's like some things here that like you think are off. Like, so his helmet is basically immune
Lightsabers.
to lightsabers, right? So why
Yeah.
does he still dodge when he's hit? And then when you think
Probably
about
still
it,
hurts.
no, when you do the research,
Yeah.
kurtosis is aside from being rare, it's very hard to work with. It's like very hard to make into armor. So it's
Yeah.
fragile. So
Yeah.
he'll use his sparingly, which
Fine.
as you see in this episode, he used it already too much and it fucking
It
broke.
It
broke.
broke.
Yeah,
It
because
broke,
he's
and
been using it
that's what I didn't realize that until I listened to a few reviews where he only had left bracer
and the
Hmm.
and
helmet.
then patched up helmet. And the helmet itself is already
Flimsy.
Cracked.
broken up
Yeah.
Yeah.
and super easy that it was it was pushed real quick by um X-23 too. It's not
Hmm.
even the other more experienced
Experience.
Jedi.
Yeah.
It was X-23 that was able to like push it away, which was like with a cool with a cool post right after too. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
man, Jacinto, you're the man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And of course, I mean, shout out to our Filipino brethren.
Oh,
We
represent.
we finally got a Filipino Sith. And
Yeah,
it's
baby.
and,
Not just
and
in Star Wars, like in a main character. Not only a main character, but a
The
Sith.
coolest so
yeah.
far, Sith.
And the dude is ripped, man.
Oh, dude. He's my inspiration now.
Look
Yeah.
at
I
the
want those
guns.
arms.
And the
The
thing is like
guns.
coming from Jason Mendoza to now Kymir. Oh man.
Range.
Like Darth Bortles, baby.
But anyway, so good.
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah, but anyways, that fight scene is a holy forking shit shirt balls. So basically,
and throughout this, dude, like I know the fight scenes are all taking over, but a lot of Soul's lines are delivered so well.
hmm
Like props to the actor for Soul. I love him. He's so good.
hmm
I am so surprised because like you're right. I mean, everybody knows by now, or at least the PR machine has been really, really hard at work, letting people know that Lee Jung Jae
Mhm.
just learn English for this road. Does not speak English. He only learned English here.
4
So
months.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that helped the acting or he's just so good in
He's
his
Yeah.
delivery and his
Yeah.
the
yeah,
face.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, because he's not your typical white dude, he gets criticized. But hey, try learning a language in 4 months and act in it. Let's see how you perform.
It's so
But
good. I
but
mean,
but even hey, I'm even going as far as he needs an award for this, because yeah, you buy him because you could tell that Master Soul has some guilt, and
yeah.
the way he's been reacting and behaving, especially towards May and Nosha, there's guilt. So we know we're going to get another flashback scene probably in the next episode. And then of course, Kymir's monologue, like, oh yeah, some of you might call me Sith, but now I'm exposed. I just have to kill every one of you. Like, yeah,
That's
there you go.
badass.
There you
He
go.
Wait, before that,
was pretty close. He was
Yeah.
pretty close.
going back to Jong saying the cutting. At first, I was also like, "Fuck, why are you always cutting from one to the fight?" But with the amount of fights that we're getting, I was like, "Oh, okay, I understand." Because like first you're like, "Why cut from Soul and Kimir?" And then we go to May looking for that, and then we get a nice fucking Aikido Jutsu fight with May
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
Jackie.
hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, that was so good. The way she took her down with the trip.
Mm.
Ah,
Mhm.
and then just shout out to again like making Smilo Ren or Darth Teeth, whatever they're gonna call, uh making him like a horror movie monster because the way he just disappears and appears, that
Mhm.
silent
Batman.
run towards
That's
Jackie, well, like oh, that's like everybody, oh fuck, that was so good.
yeah,
And that first fight scene
yeah,
with Jackie against him, ah,
yeah.
so good.
And even the kill move, man, like
Oh,
revealing that
and
his
The
oh,
lightsaber
the
is a
tiny saber.
and
yeah.
before that pala, the every time the lightsaber shorted, those were practical
Mhm.
effects.
Mhm.
How
Yeah,
it would
that's
explode. So
why
it's like it's like extra
the
icing on the top.
and the people I this is a very small kind of like Twitterverse issue where more and more people have been complaining about how big the lightsaber
Mhm.
hilts are right
Mhm.
now. And then Disney has been saying like, oh, because like, oh, it's earlier in the series they
Never
haven't
pump.
made smaller hilts, but in
Yeah,
reality, those lightsabers are the lights. That's why
practical.
the eyes of when they fight, there's always
Mhm.
like cool catch light in the eyes of the actors
Mhm.
because those are our lightsabers. Like
Yeah.
it's real
Yeah,
practical, and there needs to be a battery inside the hilt. So
exactly.
it's bigger now. So now we have better
Lighting is yeah, it's so good.
lighting
Mhm.
is better fight scenes because less
Visuals.
effects essentially, and also
Mhm.
when you do like they're actually hitting each other now. So
Mhm.
again, even those small things, the even how awesome it is, rather people will find a way to complain about it. But like, dude, I'm dude. So all of the newer series, super awesome. Because like
Mhm.
even with the last time that they did the battery not in the hilt was in
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. In Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson still had like a little teeny tiny backpack with like cords sticking
Mhm.
to
Mm-hmm.
her
I saw
lightsaber,
the
right? So
behind the
now,
scan.
quickly. So I think even the next series that we'll see, I think we'll get more and more lightsaber fights because it's going to
Yeah.
be easier to do.
No
Yeah,
more
and
of
the
that
thing,
Anakin Dooku holding like fluorescent lamps.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the
Just to light a
bomb.
little in the middle
Boom,
of the
boom,
fight.
Bomb,
boom,
bomb.
boom. Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, of course, as the practical effects become more perfected, there's going to be a miniaturized version of it eventually. But people just complain, oh, do you have those third-party lightsaber builders? Like, yeah, but again, there's a reason why the production companies never used those, because maybe they're so flimsy
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, or maybe somebody patented it and they can't use it. So, but whatever. I mean, people, like you said, people just complain. Yeah. But anyways, so So for some reason, okay, so there's also like a switcheroo. So May decided when she knocked out Osha
No, let's
that
get back
she's
to
gonna
the reveal first. Like the
oh the reveal. Oh yeah, yeah. So
the Jackie, yeah.
you know,
So
yeah. So Jackie,
Jackie uh Dorothy Smilo Ren shorts so Master Soul Saber. So Jackie goes into an
yeah,
attack. Amazing attack. Breaks the
yeah,
helmet, and then Milo Ren reveals that his saber can break into
is
two, and
yeah,
then jabs her three
Yeah.
times and kills
yep,
Jackie. Ah,
yeah. She did because like because again, there's people who are complaining that people get stabbed by lightsabers and they don't die. So I think
that's why.
Now it's like
That's
I
now
why.
think
it's
this one.
three dead center mass.
I
One
mean,
of the you remember the guy who does the deep fake and good great impression
yeah,
of
yeah,
Obi-Wan.
yeah, yeah.
His thumbnail was now Qui-Gon again likes Acolyte because somebody finally dies from being stabbed because he hates it
It's
when the others survive, like unlike him.
it's before the creation of Pack the Tanks, I guess.
And then we get the amazing reveal with a great pose and great
Great
guns
pose.
of Manny
I mean,
Jacinto with a nice hair dropping.
mhm.
And then
Like,
I love his first two lines. Like uh Jackie, and as he goes like that's its name.
That's
A-
that's
its
its name.
name.
Yep.
And
Ah,
then she was just a child, and then she goes back with
you.
which is another like this is the one of the arguments against Batman, right? With training Robin, bringing kids.
Mm.
You brought her
You
here.
brought them here.
I didn't
Like,
go hunting for
like
her.
exactly. And I
And
think
then amazing,
you
he switches up and he goes with the Khmer. Like
hello.
whoa,
Hello.
and then he just like, oh, it's just so good. And then he
Yeah.
uses the,
I didn't know that Manny Jacinto had that range.
I know,
Yeah.
and then
And the thing is, he also did like a really May, not even just not even
deep down,
a little bit that you thought it was me.
and
So
then
so yeah,
he uses the lightsaber like a gun to her
yeah.
head.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
exactly right.
god!
And the thing is, like, I saw like for me too, like going back to Good Place, right? Because there was a scene in the Good Place that Jason Mendoza figured out that it's the bad place, and Michael was like, "Really? Of all people, Jason figured it out." I'm offended. I'm offended. So my thing there is like, so that's the meme, and then Jason Mendoza took it personally, so now he's like a Sith Lord, so basically.
And
But
then
yeah, I mean,
we
mhm.
get the Yord attack,
Oh, the Yord Horde.
the Yord
Uh,
Horde, and he gets killed with a fucking. I love it. A brutal fucking neck snap.
yeah,
Next snap.
a fatality. I mean,
Showing May also that you
Well,
can kill a
again,
Jedi without
maybe
weapons.
he's still alive. Maybe he's still alive.
uh,
Are we gonna get the Star Trek being in a
the head.
wheelchair? Just the head moving. But it's here
Yeah,
just showing May that he can kill without a weapon. He can kill a
not on
Jedi
weapon.
without a weapon. And
Yeah.
another just comment on this is so funny. Like for the reacts, I've been watching a lot of the reacts and some of the and so a lot of them like of course reacted to the Jackie and the Yord kill, but some
Mm,
who are honest but still kind of in the fence if they like the show or not. And
mhm.
then when Yord died, they were like, "No!" And then like, "Oh shit! I guess I did like him." Like like,
That's
"Oh
no,
shit!"
that was me. That was like, oh, like I knew he was going to die because he was being cool while taking away
Oh shit!
Osha. It's like
Mhm.
fuck, you're gonna die. You're gonna come back and you're gonna die, right?
Yeah.
That was, and when he died, it's like, God damn it, he was pretty cool.
I know, right?
Because
So I was
here's the
like,
thing.
"So cool."
So here's the thing. You follow orders or people die. You didn't follow orders, so he died.
So you agreed. And then
So yeah,
after
so
that,
basically,
we get
mhm. The
Soul
switcheroo.
going
Oh,
crazy.
Soul,
No,
yeah.
Soul with a nice
Oh
hand
yeah.
to hand, and then the force kick, and then the force pickup of the lightsaber to ignite it. Oh, that was just so
Mhm.
good. And he
Yeah.
was this close to killing him in cold blood too. So
Yeah,
like,
and the thing is,
oh,
like, even the speech that Kymir said, like, yeah, I don't make the rules, so
yeah.
I'm not supposed to exist, so I'll just kill all the witnesses. That says
Yeah,
that I
and then
exist.
the darkness thing, the darkness line. I embrace my
Hmm.
darkness. Just
I
do it
embrace my
yours.
darkness.
Like
How
fuck
about you?
man.
So, like, so again, we need to know what sold that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
And
I think
also just
it's
like,
like
what
the.
when he was asked, what do you want? Freedom, which is kind of like weird to hear from a bad
Mhm,
guy, right?
Yeah.
So that's why despite the issues with writing, it's not
mhm,
the writing that I have the issue, it's the sequencing of what they've
mhm,
tried. Because what they're telling, the story that they're telling is pretty nuanced.
mhm.
I think again, once we have all the episodes and we watch it one sitting straight, it's gonna be like a really awesome long movie. Because right now it's like I just want to live. Like
Mhm.
that's a
I just
great.
want to be me,
Yeah.
right?
And then
So
when he said like
And,
again,
I
and it's
wanted,
also showing ano I think it's a cycle where uh there was the Sith Wars, the
yeah.
war with the Jedi. So when the Jedi won, they overcompensated and stopped everybody from if you're in the if you have Force stuff, you either come
Mm,
with just come with us.
mhm,
Cannot train on your own. You don't build your
mhm.
own shit. So
Yeah,
now,
basically, yeah,
yeah,
you don't do your own Cobra Kai dojo. You have to
yeah,
go to Miyagi-san,
yeah.
Miyagi dojo. So
So
yeah,
now
I
the
mean, and
Sith are
then
coming back, and they kind of have an argument to be made now.
mhm.
So
yeah. But again,
Yeah,
he also did mention that apart from freedom, apart from living the way that he wants to live, or using the force the way that she wants the force. The thing that I still don't understand why, because he said he wanted what? Wanted the pupil. He wanted an
Acolyte,
acolyte.
yeah,
Why would you want I mean, like,
because
okay.
no,
maybe he
it's a
still has a
no, no. It's
rule
he's
of two.
probably a descendant of Bane.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but the thing is,
So
for
he
if you
needs
don't know, well, I'm not sure whether they know that the Sith had the rule of two yet,
yeah.
because
So
like
they
this one,
they don't
yeah,
know. Yeah, the
yeah,
Jedi don't
yeah.
know.
so
We do.
Yeah,
So it's
but the thing too is, like, we don't know if he's actually a master or an apprentice. Because
yes.
remember,
So maybe
Darth
he
Maul.
need
Oh no, Duke. No, who was it? Uh, well, remember Palpatine told Dooku to kill off Asajj Ventress because she's getting too powerful, right? So that happened, and then Maul wanted to recruit Ezra, so to beat his former master. So that's basically how you build power in the Sith. Like, you just and even in the games, like the Force Unleashed, Vader was training Starkiller,
to
so
overthrow the
eventually they
Emperor.
will go over to the
Hey,
Emperor.
ano, Vader and Luke. He asked Luke
Vader
to
and Luke,
ano.
the same thing, right? So, and
There could be a
and
master,
even
and he
in,
could no. He's not an apprentice.
yeah,
He could be like the Jedi Knight, and then there's a
yeah,
master.
exactly. And then, I mean, just like even in the sequels, Kylo Ren wanted Rey to join him so that he could defeat
Overthrow.
Snoke, and that's what happened, right? So there's that. So again, it's poetry, it
I
rhymes.
love it.
Yeah. So, anyways, the episode ends with the switcheroo. So, May pretended to be Osha, but Basil knows it's fake, and of course, people are like complaining, "Oh, how come Saul didn't really like?" No, he knew.
Well, we don't
I'm
know.
sure he knows.
Even if he, for me, I think he doesn't know. But for people have to understand, he lost 7 Jedi.
He
there's
just
an
lost his Padawan.
there's
si
an
Padawan,
appearance of this like urban legend boogeyman out of nowhere
Mhm.
that there that did this, and then he has his guilt too. So it's like
Yeah,
and the Sith are again trained in clouding and
deception.
hiding, deception. So
Yeah,
like
lies, deception.
I mean I'm sure if he doesn't know he'll eventually find out. It's not like he's gonna
Yeah,
be forever clueless,
yeah,
but
yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, like, and then of course Kymir also knows that it's Osha that he picked up.
and he forced
So
a Sith using force heal,
force heal, not
right?
life steal,
Yeah.
force heal. So there's also that. So,
he's just
but
so strong. I really want to figure out sooner than later, why is he
Why?
so strong? Like killing so many Jedi in literally fucking half an episode,
Yeah.
yeah,
right? That's already impressive enough. A lot of people will need proof, like why, how, right?
Mhm.
But the force heal, where did he get the Cartosis to?
Mhm.
Is it known that Cortosis can short
These
feather
Jedi didn't
crystals?
know. These
Yeah.
Jedi didn't know. So
So maybe like I'm hoping, I'm sure the next episode is like once May and Soul gets back to
Coruscant.
Coruscant, they'll be talking about like he was able to short our lightsabers, and then the
Yeah.
Green
like
Lady's like, oh, there's none of this Cortosis kind of thing, and only this
Yeah.
person knows about what. We'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
I
And
bet you know what, to make everybody piss off, or for me it's gonna be funny when he reports. I want Kia Dimuti to say, "There's been no such sighting in 1,000 years." That's gonna be
just to
fucking
show
perfect. Yeah, it's like
like
fucking
oh
awesome.
you're overreacting, Master Soul.
No,
There's no Sith
not
for a
just to,
thousand years.
it's not just to troll. It's also to like, this fucker.
Just
He's a fucking liar.
yeah, he's just like he's always in
He's
denial,
the
right?
party man. Yeah, like everything's okay when everything's on fire. Like
Yeah. But yeah, so basically, yeah, so we're waiting for Tuesday, or at least at my time, Tuesday, for episode 6, and then I think it's an eight episode season, right?
Is it 8 or 10?
probably
Last I heard is 8.
Oh, it's just 8. It's just 8. Okay,
Yeah, it's 8.
we're
Yeah, and then
halfway through.
yeah, and the thing is like when the show was announced, um, it's Acolyte. So yeah, the Jedi are losing because a lot of people who love the prequels and even the originals. Well, how come the Jedi are losing? Like, well, yeah, because it's Acolyte. It's not Apprentice. It's not Padawan. It's not, you know. But yeah, and yeah, and hopefully there's more shows about High Republic shenanigans. But yeah, I mean, again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm loving the show, not loving all of it, but it is what it is. And the thing is, like for me, some people loved episode 3. I did. For me, it felt like a stage play. Not to knock stage plays, but this is like community theater sometimes. Like the whole
Hi
ascension
guys,
scene was just
73-2.
like, oh, okay. And there's like the sound effect, the witch cackling that sounded like the Wilhelm screams. Like you could tell that they were just pressing a button to do that sound effect. But again, it did it diminish my enjoyment of the show? No, it's just like, well, it's just it's just like an anime. There's a filler episode that you don't like. Okay, you just move on.
yeah, not like everything is gonna
Yeah,
be should be a fucking 10, or a
exactly,
9.1.
exactly.
Rarely should it be a 10. That's why it's
People are
difficult.
so fucking
Yeah,
spoiled. Like, go watch your old series. Like maybe 25% of a season is good, and then others is like
yeah.
a
I
lot
mean,
of.
even Breaking Bad had that episode, the Fly episode that people complained about. And because I watched Breaking Bad as a binge, I didn't even notice. But yeah, again, going back to John's point, that this show should have been a binge, or at least like what they did with Bad Batch. There's chunks, like one episode this week, and the next week there's like 2 episodes. So for me, that episode 4 and 5 could have been a double feature, basically. But I guess it's the streaming model that they really need more engagement with the show longer versus 1 week and then people cancel, right? But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm just gonna go ahead. Right now, like because episode 3 brought it down, I know, so it's gonna be a 7 out of 10 for this chunk of episodes. Yeah, that's my rating right now for
How
this
about
three
you? Well,
episodes.
you and you're 7. I'm a very, very, very high 8. Again,
Mm,
like you, episode 3 actually went because I'm not as into the lore as you guys. So I was really hit hard with all of the dyad, all of
mm,
the issues with the Messiah, or like
mm,
forced pregnancy and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that really soured my experience for a full week. But
Mm.
episode 4 and 5 was pretty dope. Episode
Yeah.
5 crushed it. Like
Yeah.
episode 5 was like I see a meme right here that says like going online after episode 5, all the hate about Acolyte is being changed into thirst posts because of Mania Sintos guns. Hey, it works. So
Yeah.
sex sells. So I'm really, really happy about that. So and again, we'll review this our review about this again in the future, but I bet you all of my scores will be a lot higher once all of the episodes are out. Hopefully,
Mhm.
because like if they land if they stick the ending, because right now
Mhm.
I just want answers. So I'm excited to figure out
Mhm.
what all is happening. So Chubax, what is your rating?
Oh fuck it, I'll go with the 9. I really enjoyed this.
Oh wow.
I didn't go. I wasn't as sour on the flashback scenes as you, the two of you, and I'm just riding the high of the last episode. That was some
Mhm.
good shit.
Wow. This is the
So
first because normally I score higher than you guys. But again, see, it's just you
Your
know,
taste.
it's just a preference. Yeah. So for me, yeah, I mean, episode 5 is like, and the showrunner said it is her favorite episode, and I agree. Is there issues? Yeah, there's issues, but I mean, nobody's perfect because it's a weekly show, and we have to work at a certain level of speed and budget and constraints. So yeah. Again, if you could write your own. Let's see how good you are. There you go. That's a challenge. Right.
All right.
So yeah,
Well,
yeah.
those are episodes 3 to 5 of the Acolyte. Again, we have 3 more episodes left. We're very, very excited. Just continue
Mhm.
to follow this channel so that you can hear our thoughts and opinions about these. And we rate this for your benefit so that you can kind of gauge where the interest is, and hopefully you can follow. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/plus63hp. We're also available in all of your favorite podcasting apps. You can just follow us on Twitch as well so that when we go live over the weekends, you can watch us record all of the shows as well. On behalf of Chubax and on behalf of Arnie, I'm Jong. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.